3. It went from 3.
I don't know that it's actually going to work though because I'm not seeing the stream
It says
connected. Oh
recording.
wait, now it's live. Look at that. I it is streaming now.
Well, there
So
you go. We're streaming.
yeah,
Streaming
we're
on the
live.
Riverside live.
We yeah. So it's not really like an episode per se, but it's more like let's just all hang out together and record a bit.
Oh man.
So
Have you
I
seen
have
this book though, seriously? Have you got
the
this book?
the talent
Talent
code one.
Code? Yeah.
No, but I was reading the blurb about it or the excerpt
Amazon.
from Amazon. It looks pretty good.
It's really good. It's actually a book that I mean, repetition is invaluable and irreplaceable.
Interesting.
Hence the reason why the practice every day.
Yeah, but I think the part that broke through to me from Barbara Oakley was really that it's you get what you practice, right?
Yeah.
So if you practice the same thing over and over and over again, but it's the wrong thing,
Yep.
you're gonna get really good at the wrong thing instead of being really good at the right stuff.
Yeah, but this guy talks about the practice of thinking about where you're failing. Did I tell you the whole story about the soccer guys?
No,
So Dan Coyle went to all these places that were hot spots of super talent, and
right,
one of the places was in Brazil. And he went to the places where Pele and Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, they all came from. And what he found out, besides the fact that they were from poverty areas trying to get ahead, they had that motivation, that drive to be better, and that's really all they had. They also played in what was called like Brazil soccer, something of the street, which is now
right,
known as futsal.
okay,
They've named it futsal, but it was fast paced, 6-on-6, smaller area, crummy ball, like concrete. So everybody had multiple touches. So you had more touches, more opportunity to fail, and more opportunity to learn from your mistakes. So it was like high repetition, but high failure rate. So as long as they were processing what they did wrong each time, they were getting better.
right.
And he was saying that as long as you're practicing at a point where you're failing and getting better, then you should keep learning. But once you come to the point where it's like, oh, I know this, or you're not learning anything, you should stop and move on. So that's the whole idea. I'm thinking the four,
So
like
there's like a
the,
diminishing rate of returns, right?
yeah,
On it, I guess. Like
yeah.
eventually, you just can't get any better than you already are, right? Like for the
Well, you
amount of work
can,
that you're
you
putting
just
in.
can't, you just have to, you can't keep doing the same stuff. Like the Jetstream Academy thing is
Yeah,
kicking my butt. It's like they don't teach you everything about it. So I
right.
know I'm learning a lot, and it's not like they're saying, "Okay, now you're gonna go scrape HTML." They're just saying, "Okay, here's this web link. Go get the title and return this." And they just give you a problem. And
So, but that's more that emulates more of what the real world is like, right? Where
yeah,
you only don't know the step by step every single phase of it. You know, here's how I get from here's what I think I need to do,
hmm,
and I have a starting point, but I don't necessarily know what the final product is going to look like,
yeah,
right?
it's pretty cool. So, but yeah, it's a good book. So,
Okay.
anyways, all right.
I am checking out to see if we can live stream our content here.
Saying like 95% uploaded, 94% uploaded. So uploading like real time, but just with a 4% lag.
Yeah, yeah. So it's trying to upload everything. Let's see, teaching Python, Hangout, Friday Hangout. Let's see here, Friday Hangout, and this is Science and Education, Riverside, and we'll
Using new
try
tools. New
using
tools
using new tools, right?
and not being a tool.
All right, so we're now broadcasting.
Oh, excellent.
I'm gonna mute this. There we go. Okay, because I'm getting like the delayed echo now. Okay, so we can live stream to Twitter now.
Oh,
That's
say
pretty
something
cool.
witty.
Uh,
Say a dad joke. This is what you do during your summer. I had some other stuff underlined. I was trying to find it for you.
All right, so this is now tweeted out. We're now live. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if how
Here,
many people are going
I'll
to be
give
in
you
on it.
some, I'll give you a, a quote. Teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. That's really scary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a good thing, right? But
Yeah.
it's also really hard because you don't have that direct feedback that's really meaningful and long term where
Hmm.
other things you can kind of see the effect right away, like, oh, I did this thing and then I got it back. But the effects of a good teacher can go decades down the road,
Decades.
right?
Yeah. Oh, he also talks about the click in this book.
That, like, the same way that we do, or is he
Yep.
like have a different take on it?
So, calls it the click in. So it says last year it took me almost whole 7 weeks to click in and start practicing well. This year I can feel it happening already. It's a thought thing. And it was talking about, which one was this? This was like a cellist when he was starting to learn how to play. And so he was practicing um, doing the chord, and all of a sudden he learned how to, I don't know. It was a click in. It's when you get into that groove of learning.
Hmm.
Telling you, good stuff. Gotta
Okay.
read the book. This one I actually might finish this book.
Well, you got to make progress. I'm got like 4 books that I'm in the middle of right now,
Yeah,
so I guess I just need to go make more progress on each of them.
yeah. Well, the Thousand Minds is a great book, but it's really heavy.
Yeah, I can see where that one would be a very um, slow read, not necessarily a bad one, but where you really have to take your time to think about what they're saying and
Mhm.
why they're saying it in the way that they are.
Well, he's going into the whole thing. I'm reading that part. Um, it's like one of those things where you read a paragraph and you start. Well, at least I do. When I read a paragraph and my mind starts doing that thing. And
Right.
he are talking about consciousness and how AI. People are worry if AI or machine learning has consciousness, are we going to be able to shut it off? And he says that our every night we go to bed and we shut down, and our consciousness, because they don't really understand where consciousness comes from, is not really actively working. But our conscious sometimes comes out of fear. So in order for a computer to have consciousness, we have to train him how to fear. Oh, I shouldn't have done that because I might have hurt someone's feelings. That's like our consciousness side. Or, oh, if I jump off this cliff, I might die or something. So that whole factor of consciousness derives from an effect. And that's how they derive they're thinking about AI and whether developing the consciousness will actually be a person. I don't know. It's very deep. It's very heavy. You'll like it.
Yeah, but I also think we're ascribing maybe too many human attributes to that, right? Like the whole concept of fear as a learning reinforcement loop is not necessarily the same, like, not necessarily something that computers would necessarily be able to do either, though, right? Or that you don't have to have a fear loop or like a negative experience in order for it to be a learnable machine or something like that.
It will have conscience.
Conscious, like a conscience, or it will have.
Conscience, yeah. See, that was it. He thinks one day, yes. So the whole aspect of this guy, he's a neuroscientist, but he
Right.
builds AI machines in order to replicate the brain to learn about how the brain works. You would like this book, but it's really heavy.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so he talks about neural networks and how the reasons why, you know, we have these things going on in our brain, and we know that something comes in and something goes out, but what happens in between is hard to explain, and that's how the neural networks were derived. Like something goes in, something comes out. We can pinpoint certain points of the process, and we can look at an MRI and see certain points of the process, but how that gets transcribed is a little bit difficult. And so he built these neural networks to test certain things, and I'm only fourth or no, like a third of the way through this book, and I just like have to go back and read it. It's pretty cool. It's not like it's difficult information, it's just very thought provoking.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you like that. It's too and it goes well with my AI machine learning thing.
It is a very good fit because I think so much of what we're doing is like directly imitated, copied, stolen, whatever you want to call it, right from there, right?
How far have you gotten on AWS?
I got to the point where I trained my deep lens model on the trash project because I wanted to actually do something hands on. I didn't want to just do
Theory?
the theory. I wanted to be hands on, and I'm so frustrated right now because it feels like Amazon has abandoned the deep lens
Oh no.
because they just turned off um, Python 2 for it. And then the example that was in the Udacity course that they linked to is all Python 2.
Uh-oh.
It hasn't been updated for Python 3. So
Oh.
I need to
I
probably spend a little bit of time, you know, figuring out why or how to make that connect, I
so
guess.
I kind of skipped. I mean, I read all that. I did they're like, you don't have to really do it. So I read it. It's really interesting. But then I started doing the engineering process one, which is afterwards. Really
Yeah.
cool. Talks about
Okay.
why documentation, and they're really hard. They give you some notebooks
Yeah.
and some files, and there's like, okay, so this guy wrote this notebook. It works, but it's got a processing speed of 38 seconds. Make it faster. So you're doing these reiterations, and I'm just like, ah.
Are you getting it though? Are you like
I
able to
got the
make it?
first two, and the last one, I forget what it was, but it was a little bit. What was the last one? It was I couldn't get the one part about it, and I cheated. So I was just like, I can't think anymore of this. I don't know how to make it faster because I was making it slower,
Right.
and it was using NumPy,
Okay.
and
So he
so
so it's probably something where it's like he could have used a built-in NumPy
hmm
array function or something like that
yeah,
instead he was doing like a for loop over it or
yeah.
something.
So there were one. I only have 8% on my computer, by the way.
Okay.
The one was you have this one D array,
Right.
and you had to strip something out of it and count the number of entries or something. And so I could strip it and I could count it, but it would take longer. It might end up taking like 2 minutes.
Hmm.
So I was doing a loop or something. I wasn't doing it right, and I was getting frustrated. So but it was really cool. And then they talk about documentation and how you write your README file. It's really cool. It's talking about working with teams. So I think it's good information you can bring into the classroom of how do you
I
communicate.
I think that'd be really cool because honestly, I've done a lot of those things or I've been involved in a lot of those things in terms of collaboration, teamwork, stuff like that. But it's been a while, and the tools have changed for a lot of that also.
Yeah. Oh, and they
Um,
explain Git really well in a visual, really good visual on Git about you're working on a team and it's got this little dot goes back and like you were trying to do on the board one time.
yeah,
And then you can take another course on it's like they give you all these different courses you can take for free, and then I get sidetracked and but
well, I'd love for you to take some time and go through like that new project that I've been working on for the post production editing, and just see if you can make any sense of it on GitHub. So
add it to things to do.
yeah, yeah,
67% on the AWS, and I still have like I don't know, 3/4 of the stuff on JetBrains. That thing's like what's his name? Colt's course where it just doesn't stop.
mm.
Just and
Well,
I keep racking in my gems and I keep waiting for them to say, "Okay, your free trial's up. No more.
just keep
Pay
going.
$60."
Just keep going. Just keep going. Um,
Anyways,
what was I gonna say? I have I'm probably gonna end up digging into AWS more like over the weekend and next week, and my goal is to probably rewrite the code for the Lambda function on the Deep Lens device, so the code
okay.
that actually runs on the Deep Lens. And if I get that working, I'll probably share it back. I might I probably should also just go on like the Slack channel or the Discord channel or whatever they have set up and see if anybody else has run into the same problem, because I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
But maybe rewriting that would be a good thing for people that are trying to learn all of it.
Mm, good call. My Deep
Maybe they already
Racer
have.
did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was afraid of getting charged if I kept playing. Oh, I kept playing with what was the other one? I kept playing with the music thing.
Oh, that one looks like fun.
That you're not there
No,
yet, are
I
you?
haven't done that yet. I'm still on D plans. I mean, I'm
That
early on.
that is so addicting. And I told you I got the keyboard.
Oh yeah, you ordered it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that song that goes dun 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 from like
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
So I played that, and that was pretty cool. And then so you can mix it up, you can change the tunes, and then you whatever the CNN, and there's
Hmm.
three different models that you can use. One's a CNN and one's a GAN and another one. One like manipulates the sounds and plays different notes in order to have a harmony.
Yeah.
And then the other MI or ML um, adds instruments, and you can change the instruments, and it plays this whole like full song. But it's only
So prob-
30 seconds. But it's gonna be fun. The kids are gonna love it, I think.
Oh, I'm sure, especially kids who are into music at all that are like, I mean, because that's always the hard part. Is like you want to do more with music, but it's really hard to get that idea of composition and arrangements and everything like that, and to make it feel like you're good at something without that much work at it might be kind of a great inspiration for them.
Yeah, I tweeted out I had my song. I tweeted it out, and it was this one where it was like da da, and I was just hitting all the keys. It's pretty cool. And I changed it to rock.
Well, I won't keep you too long because I know you got a lot
Thanks.
going on, but check out what we have on here that we don't have on Streamyard.
Oh yeah? What
Oh
is
wait,
it? I can't say anything. Oh. Yay!
it is very loud though.
Very loud.
So for teaching Python, this is Sean.
And this is Kelly signing off.
Here, I'll stop the recording. Let's see if it stops the